Good evening, I'm Tamika Alexander, and thanks for joining us. For the first time this season, we have winter weather advisories for part of our area. We have team coverage tonight on the threat and what it could bring to our area overnight. We start with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, who joins us now from the Weather Center. Richard, who all is being affected tonight?
Tamika, it's mainly our northern counties. We're talking Fayette, Jasper, and Vernon points north. Some light icing being reported up that way. But again, the precipitation in that part of the state's really light. Not expecting any major issues, but temperatures are right there close to freezing. So again, some issues are possible. Bottom line, if you live north of, say, Jasper or really close to Jasper and Fayette and points north, just take it easy tonight on the highways and early tomorrow morning. To the south, a batch of moderate to heavy rain still falling over much of I-2059 and down towards the south, down into portions of Marengo County, where rain is continuously falling out there. And even over the southeast past several hours, notice the rain trails in from the southwest and moves northeast. So the same areas getting impacted by quite a bit of rain. Here's temperatures right now. We have temperatures close to freezing in some areas, but again, we're not talking a major winter weather threat at all tonight, but some icing is possible. Here's the forecast tomorrow. We're in the low 40s for highs. It's going to be a chilly, rainy day, but when does this mess move out? Your forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Richard. With the threat for some winter weather across parts of our area, we want to make sure you know what to expect. That's why we've sent WVUA's Travis Leader out to Fayette, and he joins us now with a look at the conditions there. Hey, Travis.
Hey, Tamika. We're here in downtown Fayette, right outside the fire department, where some light rain is starting to fall as I speak, and the temperatures are very cold. We're in the 30s down here, but we're still above the freezing level, which is good. But there's some places in the northwest part of our coverage area that are experiencing some icy conditions, mainly Vernon and Lamar County. There is ice accumulation on the trees, and there is freezing rain also happening in Vernon. Speaking of Vernon and all of Lamar County, as well as Fayette County here, all public schools in Lamar and Fayette County will be delayed for 2 hours. So there are already some delays that are being caused by this winter weather that is coming in. Now I'm going to bring in someone from the Fayette County Emergency Management Agency, James Sanders. James, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Travis?
I'm doing good. Now talk about the conditions that we're experiencing right now and what the EMA is doing right now, monitoring the situation.
Yeah, the EMA is monitoring the situation. We're concerned with northern Fayette County. That's above Fayette. We had some reports earlier of some flooding, some cars hydroplaning on 171 South. But we're just monitoring the situation. Want everyone to remain diligent and pay attention to their driving.
And now you're talking about northern Fayette County. One of the main populations up there would be Winfield, correct? What exactly are you fearing up in the northern part of the county as far as conditions not only on the roads but to trees and power lines as well?
Well, right now temperatures are above freezing. They may dip down. Some reports from National Weather Service earlier this afternoon were that the temperature should remain around 33, 34 degrees. Could get below freezing and produce some freezing rain, but hopefully before 7 a.m. things will start to warm up. I actually got some reports from people around the county where temperatures are rising as of right now. They've risen 3 degrees in the past 2 hours.
Okay, what are the main concerns as we head forward in the next few hours going into the overnight hours? I'm sure it's going to be a long night for your group of people.
Yeah, we'll just continue to monitor the situation. Big concerns are the roads, driving, of course, just remaining diligent and paying attention to your driving. Hopefully you don't hit any spots to hydroplane or whatever.
All right, James, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And we'll send it right back to you, Tamika.
Thanks, Travis. U.S. military suicides are at record high levels. 349 soldiers committed suicide last year, which far exceeds the 295 American combat deaths in 2012. 301 soldiers committed suicide in 2011, and some private experts say the trend will worsen in 2013. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta and others are calling this disturbing trend an epidemic. Here in Tuscaloosa, the VA Medical Center provides help for those who are contemplating suicide. Suicide Prevention Coordinator Richard Beatty says their department uses multiple resources to help soldiers in need. And while the numbers are on the rise, Beatty says this is also because awareness is increasing as well.
We're much more aware of it now, and we're doing a much better job than we ever have at recognizing it, at accounting for it, and for counting those individuals and responding.
BD encourages any veteran in need of assistance to call the Veterans Crisis Line. The number is 1-800-273-8255. The hotline is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, on your home team Crime Watch, an 18-year-old is arrested in connection with a fatal shooting in Tuscaloosa. Authorities say the suspect may be charged in connection with a shooting that injured 2 other people earlier in the weekend. According to Captain Lloyd Baker with the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit, investigators responded to Creekwood Village Apartments Saturday just before midnight. Baker tells us 17-year-old Angelica Mona Golston was fatally shot inside the apartment. 2 other females were shot as well. They were treated at DCH for non-life-threatening injuries. Captain Baker says 18-year-old Tresvon Tyrone Spencer has been arrested for murder and attempted murder.
So we'd spend most of the day and into the late evening hours looking for him. It took quite some time to identify who the shooter was in the first incident. When they finally identified the shooter, photo lineups had to be prepared showing the witnesses, and he was identified. Warrants were obtained for attempted murder, and that's when the search began.
Spencer is also a suspect in a shooting that injured 2 teenage boys Saturday afternoon in West End. One of the victims has been identified. Another remains in stable condition in ICU. Well, friends and family are remembering and mourning the loss of a Tuscaloosa boy. 13-year-old Will May. Authorities say May was shot Saturday afternoon near the north border of Sumter County and taken to Hill Hospital in York. The hospital confirmed he died from gunshot wounds. The Sumter County Sheriff's Department is calling it a hunting accident, but says they are still in the early stages of the investigation. Now, May was an 8th grader at Rock Quarry Middle School. Relatives say he was a big Auburn fan and loved being outdoors with his family and friends. May was also very involved in his youth group at First United Methodist Church. Director of Student Ministries Brian Loper says May will be remembered as a very high-spirited child.
I think everyone's just going to remember this kid with an incredible sense of humor who saw the bright side of everything and had a way of lighting up the room anytime he walked in. And that's what I hope people remember. Strong faith. And I have no doubt where he is now. And we will certainly mourn his loss, but Will's in a great place.
May's funeral is scheduled for 2 p.m. Tuesday at First United Methodist Church with visitation at the church beginning at noon. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that donations be made to the For Fuller Fund at Children's Hospital in Birmingham. Well, tonight we're bringing you an update on a nonprofit organization that impacts both parents and children's lives in the Tuscaloosa area. First Teachers at Home teaches parents and preschoolers how to prepare for kindergarten. WVUA's Molly Mitchell has more on how this organization's success is growing.
1 hour a week for 16 weeks.
Children and parents are divided into 2 rooms. Parents meet with Director Jeff Hearn and go over worksheets that have tips and strategies that enable parents to teach their pre-K kids.
They can now use their own abilities to teach their children. And so I'm really not teaching them anything new. I'm just teaching them ways to do things.
In another room, Miss McKinney plays games that have a purpose with the kids.
Board games give them the opportunity to learn how to sit still and sit at a table, how to take turns and play with other kids. It also gives them the opportunity to count, for instance, on the board game we played, and learn their colors. And so not only are they learning behavioral things, but they're also learning academics.
Myrtlewood Elementary parent Christy Wren is excited about the classes.
I have triplets, and it's very expensive to send them to daycare. And so this way I can still get them started on the right track, because I was worried about them being behind in kindergarten. So.
First Teachers has been working with the county school board to extend the program to more Title I schools. The nonprofit has over 13 locations, and a Spanish class is held at Holt Elementary. Director Jeff Hearn hopes to keep expanding the program.
We're continuing to make more partnerships and branch out, hopefully really expanding into the Black Belt areas of Alabama, so into Pickens and Hale County, Greene County. Hopefully we'll get into a lot of areas where there are a lot of low-income families and a lot of needs.
Reporting in Foster's, Molly Mitchell, WVUA News.
A University of Alabama graduate student is asking for your help to get her commercial in this year's Super Bowl. 2007 advertising and public relations graduate Ruth Brown produced this commercial called Goat for Sale. This spot is one of 5 finalists in the Doritos crashed the Super Bowl director's cut. 2 of the commercials will air on Super Bowl Sunday next month. Brown says she will have no idea if hers will make the cut until kickoff, but says if the commercial goes on air, it will give everyone involved in the production major exposure.
So many people in the United States watch it, and the commercials, that's it. It doesn't get any higher than the Super Bowl for when you can have the best commercial of your life potentially air, because it has the most amount of people watching it, and they actually watch it for commercials.
If you would like to vote for the commercial, you can visit DoritosGoat.com or go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/DoritosGoat.